hate this camera. This phone. Okay. You guys, I have to tell you, the night before the elections, my granddaughter Trey, who is just irresistible now, she's very special. Yeah, she really is. But she stood up and she started saying the Pledge of Allegiance. You know, she put her hand behind her back, put her finger in her heart, and she started saying it. We didn't even know she knew it. She goes to pre-K. You have to call it pre-K. She goes 3 days a week, but she just learned it. I mean, she has like that semi-photographic memory. She remembers everything. Her birthday party, that was in May. She can tell you who was there when she opened the presents, where they sat, who left early. I mean, that's how her mind goes, right? And she's so creative. But, funny. But we've been really having just a heart-wrenching time with her because she's never met her father. Her father won't have anything to do with her, and he lives in Florida. But when we moved into the house, we moved in September throughout October. We got in here in September, but I was back over there every day, you know, hence why I couldn't move for 3 weeks. But we were, this neighborhood that we moved in is the very first neighborhood we ever bought a house in back in the 80s. It's a great neighborhood. It has half the police force back here, and everybody, you know, walks, and it's just a great neighborhood to raise kids. So I'm in the garage, like I always am, and I was trying to, you know, move things around. And she was sitting on the front porch steps, and I saw her looking at the people walking by. And then I heard her say, like, yeah, just waiting for my dad to get home from work. He should be home anytime. I know he can't wait to see me. You know, then she came down with me, and she's sitting on her bike, and she just had this little faraway look on her face. And I said, baby, well, Trey, what you thinking about? She looked at me. She turned her little head around. She said, I'm just wondering how I'm going to survive my life without my dad. Just wondering how I'm going to survive this life without my dad. That's what this little 4-year-old said to me. You know, and she says, I know I love him so much. She doesn't know her. I mean, she's never met him. And she's so incredible, right? And she's like, I love him so much. And I know that if he could, you know, he'd get on an airplane and just come see me, you know? And then this is really on her. And then she said that she just pretends sometimes that he's a superhero, okay? And he's out saving the world. In her mind, that's what he's doing. You know, no, my dad is a superhero. He's so busy saving the world. And so he'll I know he misses me as much as I miss him. And when he's done saving the world, then he's going to come and see me. My heart's breaking. Pray. My heart's breaking. And this little doll, okay, who's so funny, but she did the Pledge of Allegiance, right? And so I put it on my Twitter page, and I thought it'd stay like in our little group, you know, or whoever I tagged right there, right? It had like 32,000 views. The most wonderful, sweetest things were said about this child. She just melted the hearts, you know? She had a Grateful Dead sweatshirt on. Does she wear Grateful Dead? No. It was brand new. I don't know. It was raining that day. I don't know where it came from. You know, it was just a sweatshirt. But of course, you have those people that had to go in there going, oh yeah, she has a Grateful Dead sweatshirt. Get over it, okay? I probably put it on her and not paying attention. Who cares, you know? but she's just saying that little Pledge of Allegiance, and she, you know, she's my little trumper with me, right? She's my, I'm trumper. She's my little trumper. But she went through this, she's never been afraid of anything or afraid to play in her room or anything. But, you know, she went through a couple-month period where she would not go into her room in the other house, and she just kept saying she was scared and she had seen something, and finally got her through that. But she says, I said to her here, and I said, oh, no, I said, God's everywhere. You know, he follows you everywhere. He sees everything. He's got his angels. I said, but God watches you all the time. You never need to be afraid of anything, ever. God so has you. You're so special. You were born for a very special reason. And she said, so what you're telling me is God's iridescent. I said, yeah, God's iridescent. I didn't even know she knew what the word was. But these are her kind of words. These are the kind of words that she uses, you know, iridescent, and, you know, metallic. You know, it's not just shiny. It's, oh, that has metallic on it, you know. Just very, very special. So she's really having a hard time. I hope it's breaking my heart. Breaking my heart. So, and just, she'll just, you can tell in her little mind she's thinking, you know. What you thinking about, baby? I was thinking about my dad. You know, I feel so bad for him because I know he's missing me as much as I'm missing him. It's just not fair. Makes me cry. Just makes me cry. But, she's a handful now. She's really a handful. But she's special. You know, she was born for a reason. And if you ask her something, and she'll say, it's okay, Grandma. It's okay because I'm special. And God will never let anything bad happen to me. Okay? I go, baby, I'm afraid you're going to fall. Grandma, God has me. She says. Makes me cry. Anyway, I had to tell you that. So her little video, you know, had 32,000 views. It was wonderful. I had no clue. I was really kind of timid, you know, about putting it on there, but it was just so, it was a child, you know, just, I pledge allegiance. I'll have to put it on my blog for everybody, but this is a time for the children, you know, that innocence. And everything is patterned, and so everything is going in patterns and repeating patterns and going back to patterns. And that's why you have to be childlike, you know, and you have to have that trust. You truly have to have that trust. You know, when we first start our walk, we talk about walking in that blind faith. You just, you know, but at that time, it's blind faith, okay? Because you know you're walking to God, but it's in your path, it's your journey to know Him. And because really, people don't know. The bride, okay, they're walking in that blind trust, meaning that blind faith, meaning there comes a time when you just walk in faith, okay, because you know who you're walking to. And this is what's going to be a huge shocker for the church, for the bride. They don't know who they're walking to. You know, it is the pattern of the Israelites leaving Egypt, okay, being enslaved, the Exodus. The thing was, they had heard, okay, they knew all the rituals, They knew all the words because it had been passed down from their forefathers. They knew the laws. They knew those words because they were repeated and repeated in tradition for those 490 years. Okay, I think it was 490. That they were there from the time of Joseph, and then bringing Jacob in, you know, with the 70, and then by time Moses was born, the time of Moses, it was what, like 490 years, I think. But in that time, verbally and in motion, they were told who God was, but they really didn't know him. And this is why when they ventured out into the wilderness, okay, that even after he's leading them by miracles, it was hard for them to really retain that and to understand that. He kept showing a miracle after miracle, yet when they were at that point of, you know, that boulder in the way, they panicked, and they reached having a leader. You understand? They were always told what to do. There was always words that they followed every day. It was the pattern. So when they really truly was, when they were released, and to go and finally, you know, they hollered out all those years, "Save us, Lord, save us, deliver us, deliver us, deliver us." They didn't know what to do because they had been programmed. They'd been programmed. This is the world. This is the world. Everybody's been programmed. So everybody's, deliver me, and everybody's, but it's the pattern over again. So when things don't happen on their time, and Moses doesn't come down from that mountain on the exact timing that they were told, they're going to panic because they have to have a God. They have to have a leader. They have to have whatever, you know. So hence, this is why the golden calf. Okay? Because of the murmuring from the tail end. And where was the tail end? Coming out of Egypt, who joined the caravan? Okay, the rabble. The rabble joined the caravan. Remember Dathan? If you've seen the movie 10 Commandments, remember he's the one who took over the overseer's place. It was Edward G. Robinson, okay? And who held the water girl, Lily, captive, right? You know, he had her light. He you know, that's, you have to understand what all that is on a spiritual. You have to take that higher and know who she was, and what that's saying. So anyway, she ended up marrying. She loved Joshua. And Joshua was a stonecutter, and Joshua ended up leading them into the promised land. She was the water girl. She was defiled, right, by Dathan. So she was, but she was in love with Joshua. Joshua was in love with her. So who is she today in this picture? Okay. Anyway, but the Israelites, they didn't know God. They didn't. They only knew what was programmed into them. They didn't have him in his heart. Okay? They had to, and this is why they had to stay in the desert. They had to know who was delivering them. They had to know him. And this is going to happen again. So it's the rabble, the switch of the rabble. It's happened. Okay? It's happened. And so when the word turns against the Jews, it's going to be shortly, and you're going to hear that. Okay? It's not the Jews of our Bible that we've been told. It's not the Israel that we've been told to pray for, to bless. And there was a switch. There was a switch, just like there was a switch back then. There's a switch. There was another switch that happened. Okay? They're home. I'll be right back and finish this video.